Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to another episode of Last Minute Kickout. I am always, as Pete Titans Creed Nethercoat, joined by my lovely cohorts in podcasting crime. One, Mr. Kevin, the Kevin Eva. Eva, how are you doing,
Hello.
sir? How's he doing?
Well, you can address me. You can address me as champ.
I can address you as champion. You have had the belt for a year, Kev, but your time has come to an end, my friend. Your reign of terror, akin to Triple H's reign of terror.
Look, the one man power trip.
The one man power trip.
It's not my fault. I have all the belts. You know, I've given you plenty of opportunities to suggest having opportunities, and you didn't take them. So let's just get on with this. There's there'll be a number of interesting decisions, I think.
Yes, I think there will be as well.
Looking forward to this.
Joining us, as always, as well, is one Mr. John Turbo Finley, the paragon of DDPY Yoga.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Kind of looking forward to this WrestleMania. There's some interesting matches on the card, and well, actually, before that, there's gonna be a very awesome takeover as well, and who knows? I might be doing a special one-man live stream of that on Friday when that's happening. So
cool! You gonna do reactions then?
Fine, possibly.
Interesting. Well, obviously, I will put a link to John's.
I'll talk
Twitch
about it on Twitter.
John's Twitch will be on the screen right now, so you can go bookmark it and follow him, because it's a good way to find out when he goes live. Right, we are nearly at the end of the road to WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. We've been through the Royal Rumble in the back of a pickup truck. We've hit the Elimination Chamber, as it was not a roadblock, but however, we are still in the fast lane. And we are now entering the last furlong, as it were. We are big old WrestleMania weekend with a massive card. With maybe a match or two left to be announced, I think. But we're going off what the card is now. Always, as Cesaro likes to say, subject to change. But yeah, we are here to make predictions. Before we do so, though, I want to get general thoughts. How do you think, looking at the WrestleMania card as it is at time of recording, how do you feel about it?
It's gotta be long.
It's gonna be very long.
All right, taking the length of it out of hand, the card itself, the quality of matches, how do you feel?
It's okay. I mean, the main event scene of championship matches, the big titles, I obviously are strong, because the match that I'm looking forward to the most, besides the women's triple threat main event, will be Kofi and Bryan. I feel that'll steal the show, hopefully.
When was the last time we had a top 3 matches main event which didn't have any of the old guard in it?
That's a good point.
I mean, it still does have one old guard in it.
Yeah.
Well, 2, technically. But,
it's been a while. And obviously, Undertaker and John Cena probably are still scheduled to turn up. I have a feeling we'll have a John Cena appearance at the beginning of the show, kind of like the old guard, welcoming everybody back. I believe Hogan is scheduled to appear as well. So I fully imagine it'll
that can't be helped.
Austin as well is apparently slated to appear, so I imagine they'll be doing an opening the show kind of thing like they did for the...
Oh, good. At the Silverdome.
Yes, the Silverdome indeed. But yes, we're going to start going through our predictions. As always, the prize on the line is the championship, which was so kindly donated to us by one Mr. John Finley originally, hoping that he wouldn't have to give it away, but is currently in the possession of the current champion.
Currently, as your reigning, defending, polishing champion. Look how shiny it is as the monitor glares off of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We are going for Goldie 1.0, as Turbo christened it last show.
Yeah.
But this is what we go for. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the previous shows, so Turbo would like this back, I'm guessing.
Not really.
He has too many championship belts, is what he's saying.
I have
He's
enough
got-
up there
he's got-
as it is. Like
But-
I have the more up to date version of that.
This
title.
is true. This is true.
But of course, that one is re-leathered. Which
it is. The investment was made in this belt.
Yes,
Everybody.
there was investment.
The other person,
Who would desire
if you could call him that,
Wow.
has already said that he will basically have it. Never mind all those Sonic plushes. Those are going to make room for this apparently if he wins.
That area
And
there.
we will never hear the
That
end of
area-
it if he
no,
does.
because it'll be on show all the time. You don't have it on show. You have the belt. You don't have it
No,
on
there's
show.
a thing called a radiator there. It's rather difficult.
But yes, that's what we're playing for. It's all to play for here. Correct amount of predictions. It was going to be a tie at the end of last year, but it was literally down to a split decision based on the end of the Lesnar versus Reigns match, which I made an incorrect prediction for. However, there's a lot of matches to go through. Nothing like that's going to happen this time because one Mr. Eva is unfortunately working and is unable to watch it live this year. So we'll see what happens. But yes,
I mean, I could, but I'm going to be just destroyed for work the next day.
sleep on the Sunday, mate. That's it. That's what you need to do. We'll start on the kickoff show. So the Women's Battle Royal. Yeah, this is a thing. John, we'll start with you first. Who do you think is going to win the Women's Battle Royal?
You see, it's very hard with these battle royales. You just don't
Consider
know
it a bonus point then.
Well, my heart says Asuka because she got royally screwed with her having to relinquish the SmackDown Women's title to Charlotte to make the Women's Triple Threat more interesting. But originally, I had what was it? Lacey Evans to make the shock win, because she's been making all this kind of like back and forth, and then her to be able to just spontaneously get a win at WrestleMania, for that and whatnot. But no, it was either gonna be, and I can't really say Nikki Cross because she's hardly been utilized for this build-up and whatnot. So I'm going to say Asuka. I'm going to play it safe and say Asuka.
Fair enough. Mr. Kev?
Oh, no, I'm going last. Champion's advantage.
But you need to respect the belt, so you need to be the main
Yeah,
event. Yes,
champion's
come on.
advantage.
No.
Go on.
Well, the champions are always going
Fine.
into the ring
Champions come out last.
so-
Fine,
Yeah.
okay. So while fucking champion should be out first, respect the belt. I would agree, Asuka, but I'm gonna go with Mandy Rose.
Fair enough. Any reason why?
Yeah, any reason why?
Lots of reasons why.
Because she's Mandy.
Indeed.
Because we
just
need
Mandy.
something at the very start of the evening for somebody to slaver over on commentary.
I think they'll put her back to going on to the push as soon as this finishes the main event thing, and I think that they'll put Mandy in there to, give her the trophy or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kev?
I have got Oscar.
Okay, so two.
I think that they'll give it to Oscar as we're sorry we've kind of screwed you about a bit.
So the winner, yeah, that makes sense.
This is a compensation.
Yeah,
She gets to
that
do that.
was my initial thought, but then I looked at the roster and I'm like, John made a good point about Lacey Evans, but I think looking at the list, I think they're gonna go back to pushing Mandy Rose.
It's either that or an NXT call up. Might win
No,
it,
they won't
but,
do that. No.
You never know.
No, they won't do that. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Mr. Kev.
Okay. They've done nothing with him. They might as well start doing something with him. EC3.
Solid. I didn't actually think about that. See, my heart was originally set on Apollo Crews because they're doing a bit of pushing with him on Raw at the moment, especially with it. But because Braun Strowman's got this thing with Michael Chi and Colin Jost from Saturday Night Live. I don't know if it's going to be one of them.
No, I don't.
I'm going to stick with my heart, and I'm going to say Apollo Crews. John?
See, I was going to think it was either going to be Braun Strowman or one of the Saturday Night Live guys.
Look, if it's one of the Saturday Night guys, it kills it dead.
Yeah. I'm going to say Braun Strowman because he's been like the more prominent thing. And there's been a lot more monsters winning this Battle Royale to accommodate to the legacy of the thing, being that of
Cesaro's not a monster.
Yeah, but he was
the well-known monster, Matt Hardy.
And he did the notable spot with the Big Show of lifting the Big Show up over his head, and then instead of like slamming him on the mat, but slamming him over the.
Okay.
He's a freak of nature.
So you're saying Braun, yeah? You're saying Braun.
I'm saying Braun.
Okay, fair enough.
At least
do we really have to give it? Not big. Okay, so that's your thinking. Respect it. If he does win, do we really need to keep giving Braun Strowman these things? Does Braun Strowman need it?
He's got to break it in some case, isn't he?
He won the tag titles with an 8-year-old kid last year. Come on.
Okay, so we're moving on to the last match on the kickoff show. The Cruiserweight Championship of Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese. I'm going to go with Tony Nese. I haven't, as I said before, I don't watch 205 Live at all. But from what I hear on the Tony Nese versus Buddy Murphy shaping up to be a good match. Buddy Murphy's had the belt for ages, and I think it's about time that they shake up the Cruiserweight division and possibly do a changeover. So I'm going to go with Tony Nese.
I was going to agree with that as well. Because what was it? Buddy Murphy was off from 205 Live for a good number of weeks, and he wasn't defending the title, so they did a championship tournament to get a number one contender for the title, and Tony Nese shined through. So yeah, it only makes fair to have Tony Nese as the winner for this.
You'll be pleased to know I'm also going for Tony Nese.
Sick.
For the same reason, it's time for something to happen, and I suspect Nese will win by nefarious means to set up Murphy, then going to Chase.
Makes sense. Okay, well, brilliant stuff. So on straightforward 50-50% chances, we've all taken the same one. Good start. Okay, so on to the recently announced on this week's SmackDown. The Usos versus Ricochet and Aleister Black versus The Bar versus Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. John, starting with you.
Now, the talk of... I was thinking that maybe the Usos may retain, but I think... to try and, cause some kind of shake up and whatnot, I think maybe the Bar might win the titles again. To try to get a heel kind of win for because the problem with me is obviously I want all the baby faces to win, but of course in this scenario. The only in my eyes, the only baby faces is Ricochet and Aleister Black, and that's not going to happen. So, but no, I think the Bar might be able to win it through devious means or something like that. It was either going to be them or Rusev and Shinsuke, and I can't really see Rusev and Shinsuke win the titles as the hodgepodge tag team that they are. Because the evil foreigners, malarkey. Ugh. Anyway.
So you're going with the Bar, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going for the Bar.
Fair enough. Mr. Kev?
This is weird because there's a couple of factors that you could sort of throw into this. Number one, the news that the Usos have indeed signed a new contract. That might play into things. The Bar have been on the back burner for a very long time. That may play into things, and as Ted pointed out, it be a heel win. I'm going, however, for what I've written down here is Team Vince XT.
Ricochet and Aleister Black, then.
Yeah. These brand new homegrown talents that Vince has just heard about and brought up. I think they'll want to have at least one win for. This is going to sound odd considering my Andre the Giant choice. That they're going to want somebody, one win that's very much branded as an NXT, taking a foothold. They've completely forgotten that EC3 came from NXT, so I'm going on that on the basis that they'll have Ricochet win with a 680 or whatever it is.
630.
630. They'll have that. Everyone will get black masked, and yeah, I don't really see what it would do for anyone else apart from them. So that's what I'm going for. Ricochet and Aleister Black.
So my mind was essentially the same. Ricochet and Aleister Black is what my mind initially was set on, because it would be the third pay-per-view in a row where they'd be going after a tag belt. And I thought, okay, they'll probably get it. But I don't think they can. Not for the sake of they're not capable enough to, more to the point that I think it's not right for them as solo performers, and I think the brands are going to need bigger faces. And I'm all too worried about the minute that they break them up as a tag team, they'll put Ricochet on some sort of cruiserweight division. Just because. And then they'll high track him to get him the cruiserweight belt there. Because of that reason, I'm going to go with the Usos defending.
All right, freeway split.
Just makes certain. Okay.
Who's the fourth team again?
Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Confirmed they're winning them.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin in Angle's retirement match. Kev.
What do you say? Oh, what do I say? Okay.
Yes, what do you say?
Right. Okay.
You don't find he's got elaborated, kind of like.
Yeah, this is a conditional.
Yeah, I thought so. I knew it.
Yeah. I mean, if it stays as Angle Corbin, Angle wins. If it changes from Angle Corbin, or Angle Corbin ends so quickly that, it sort of sets up something else, or somebody interrupts, whether it's Cena, whether it's Taker, whether it's anybody else, then Angle loses. So if it stays Angle Corbin, Angle wins.
Okay, so I'm going to go the other way, and I'll put the same conditional on. I think if it stays Angle Corbin, Corbin wins. But I think if it goes Angle anybody else, Angle wins. John.
So the absolute reverse then?
Absolute reverse, yeah.
Absolute reverse of me. Interesting.
And I would have to agree with Pete, because that's what I thought. And
I think like the only way that this is going to work is it's the retirement match, and they're trying to build Corbin as this way to push out the old guard. Like that's what this whole mid card of evil, 3-man bland, whatever you want to call it. They're trying to push out the old guard and everything else. If Corbin beats Angle, he gets mega heat.
Yes.
He does, regardless of personal feelings on Baron Corbin in the actual card. I think it's the only way it can be done.
Yeah. But I'm going to deviate your kind of like stipulation a bit further with Baron Corbin will beat Angle, but then someone like John Cena or Undertaker or whatnot will come in because Baron Corbin's going like, I've just beat this legend and blah 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 blah. Here in comes a legend, and they beat Baron Corbin.
Yeah, but I don't think that'll be a match though. That'll just be a beatdown.
Yeah, well, no, that'll be.
I think you're right on. I think that
that'll
they'll
be like what happened to. I can't remember which one it was. It was either Rowan or Harper.
Rowan versus The Rock, if
yeah.
that's what you're referring to. Yeah,
yes.
the fantastic 8 seconds or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I imagine
Something
that's what will happen, and then Angle will get his standing tall at WrestleMania moment with Cena. That would make sense.
Okay, so Angle Corbin wins, resulting in a squash match against Corbin.
I don't think there'll be a squash match. I think he'll get chased off by Cena, and Cena will make him stand tall if Corbin wins. But
I'm just clarifying what Turbo's saying.
Yeah.
So
it'll be something of like, you know, like what you just said. Yeah, I mean, probably be squash match or something like that.
Revenge squash. Okay.
Revenge squash.
Okay. Interesting one, but it's, again, guys watching, listening, it's the one that is the most up in the air in terms of outside influence. So
I don't think it is. I think there'll be a couple of other influence matches on throughout the night. But moving on to the next one, which I think will have outside interference, The Miz versus Shane McMahon in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
What do you think?
My thinking is that, and there's no fucking bonus points for this, I think Sanity will make an appearance. They've been doing it the last couple of weeks due to Shane McMahon's behest. Falls Count Anywhere means it's going to be some ridiculous spot from Shane off of something. So that's going to be fun to watch again. But I think Shane's going to win.
And I will agree on that fact. Because Miz has been so strong in the lead up to this feud and whatnot, of like him just beating down all these people, and then and this past Tuesday taking out all of Sanity in that Falls Count Anywhere handicap match, and it's only fitting that he has to take the fall at WrestleMania to Shane.
Right, so I'm going for Shane. For a few reasons. Number one, what do we do every time The Miz has like a really, really strong gear? We cut his legs out from underneath him. Number two, Shane is not doing very well in terms of win-loss record at Mania at the minute. And remember, somehow Shane McMahon is now gatekeeper for a guaranteed match. He's the new Taker.
Yeah.
Just inverse in terms of everything.
And if you got the last one there, it's like he is the best in the world.
He is the best in the world. And we want to keep him as a heel character.
Yep.
And sorry, Miz, but no.
I'd like to point out that I love Miz, and I think he's amazing, and he deserves to be world champion again.
Doesn't deserve any of this.
But the man knows how. The man knows how to. The man is making his dues right now, and that is precisely what he's doing.
Right. So yeah, and the other thing is he just won that 3-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, as we know, Shane McMahon is more powerful than 3 men. So
he can fall off from great heights and survive.
Yeah, he can fall off from great heights and survive. I'm gonna say, actually, if we're gonna have an interesting interference line, this isn't part of my prediction, but I'd be interested to see it happen. The interference coming from Big Show, just because of their history.
Shano. No bonus points, but it would be
Shano is winning. Not happy about it, but he's winning.
Okay. Women's Tag Team Championship: Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus Nia Jax and Tamina versus the Iconics. John, who do you have and why?
Oh, I'm gonna go with the dark horse on this one, because I feel as though something stupid has to be a part of this show. I'm gonna go with the Bloody Iconics.
No, please no.
I'm sorry, but
I had completely.
I just expect them to be that
I'd
Trojan
expect them to
horse.
be iconic.
That's clever, you. No, it's like I expect them to be like the heels to like the major heels to get this win and take the titles off of Bailey and Sasha. Even though, what was it? Many people would think, oh, just have them keep the titles, and then at the end of the end of the night, we'll have the four horsewomen kind of like celebration and whatnot, and have all the titles. But because of what the final match is now, that's not gonna happen. So you might as well have Bailey and Sasha drop the belts to someone. And
What's final match?
Winner take all for both championship belts. The women's championship.
Oh, is that?
Yeah,
Or
it
did
is
they
that.
check? Oh, is that? Okay.
Yeah, that
It
happened
is-
on
it
Raw
is
this
that.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so with that fact, it's like you're not gonna have one woman have all the titles and then Sasha and Bailey coming in and celebrate and whatnot. But so yeah, and I feel as though I can't give Nia and Tamina the win, and Beth Phoenix and Natalia having the win would be kind of moot because Beth Phoenix is only there temporarily at the moment, so her having the title win would be redundant. So I think the Iconics would be the better choice, and to get some super heel heat, and for them to be so, to get that sneaky win, and take advantage of the situation, because they've done that before. They did it with that's how they got that win over Sasha Banks and Bailey beforehand, to be in this title opportunity, is to get that sneaky win.
Kev?
So I feel as though they'll go get it.
You know what? I had completely ignored the fact that the Samoan Slaughterhouse, whatever the hell they're called, were in it, and that the Iconics were in it. I completely mentally blanked the fact that they were. I think that the Iconics should get the title.
But
I don't think it's this first Mania's the time to do it. And I'm sticking with Boss and Hug
Retaining. All right.
retaining. I think it's too early for them to lose it.
I think it's the right time for them to lose it because they've not been very good with them, personally.
Yeah.
As high of a presence as both Sasha Banks and Bailey have, I don't think they're championship material with the belts, unfortunately. And I think while Beth Phoenix actually getting a win and then losing it on Raw, I think the Iconics are going to walk away with it.
Wow, double Iconics.
It's kind of weird. We're living in this situation where me and Pete, we've agreed more than me and Kev.
It's not weird at all. Playing the odds here. Right. So this one is slightly in the air a little bit. It's the United States Championship. Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio has been diagnosed after Monday Night Raw of having an ankle injury. He's going to be evaluated all the way up until Sunday. However, based on the match on this SmackDown that's just happened, I imagine if it does change, then Mustafa Ali will get put into the match in his stead. But as the moment, we'll make bets on the match, as it were, and I imagine it will play out with the same winner regardless. So, Kev, Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. Who have you got and why?
Samoa Joe, unless there's a swap.
And you think whoever he's up against will then lose?
Unless there's a swap, in which case they'll win.
Okay.
Because booking convention is that in the event of somebody swapped out for a title change, swapped out for a title match, the surprise person usually wins. So on that logic, and I personally think it should be Andrade, incidentally, have Joe come out and insult Mexico. and then have Andrade come out as Ray's chosen replacement, and then get Andrade over that way, which is what you were going to have anyway, weren't you? But so Samoa Joe for a well-deserved win, unless there's a swap, in which case Joe loses.
Okay. I'm going to go with Samoa Joe will win, regardless of any swapping at all. So he'll win against Mysterio, and if Mysterio is replaced, then he'll win against the replacement. John?
Yeah, I'm the same. Samoa Joe has to retain this at WrestleMania. It's his first. Is it his first WrestleMania?
It will be, because he's had the last two out injured.
Yeah. So I would think, and he's currently the big heel right now, or like he's a big heel. So they need to have some more kind of like heel wins to even out the kind of like big babyface wins that will be happening later on. So I feel so. No matter what, Samoa Joe will retain.
Okay then. Moving on to the next match, the Intercontinental Championship. Bobby Lashley versus the Demon Finn Balor. I'm voting for the Demon.
Demon.
Moving on.
Triple H versus Batista. No holds barred match, and if Batista wins, Triple H resigns or is fired from all of WWE. John, who do you have and why?
Well, seeing that the Saudi Arabia show is going to be later this month and whatnot, it's going to be Triple H. Because why the fuck would Triple H retire from in-ring competition when the Prince of Saudi Arabia is going to ask for him to go into a bloody match again? I know fine that's going to bloody happen. So, no, Triple H is going to win this.
Kev?
Triple H is going to win this because there's no point in Batista winning it.
I agree. And there'll be some form of interference. There's no hold barred. Anything can go. So
Flair.
Flair,
all of DX is there for
all of DX, the whole NWO.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Sting comes out and kills all of them.
Yep. So yeah, Triple H to win. Cool. Okay, here's an interesting one, gentlemen. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. Kev, who have you got and why?
Right. I had Orton. Then on SmackDown, they did the RKO. They did the Phenomenal Forearm into the RKO then.
Yep. Which is the spot we called that was going to happen at Mania.
Yeah. Now I'm confused.
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder to realize.
Yeah, suddenly. It's just a normal match, isn't it?
It's just a normal singles match.
A normal match.
Yeah. He's in so much pain.
This is so, because it was absolutely nailed on to be Orton.
Yep.
Up to the point he did the
RKO.
The RKO.
Yeah. On that KO show. So yeah.
But remember, he's been in the business for so long. He only knows one move.
He knows two moves: draping DDT and the RKO. And occasionally, when it's plot relevant, he'll remember the punt.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a one it might end up being. He hasn't punted anybody in ages.
Yeah.
Does AJ need some time off?
No. He's just signed a new contract as well, hasn't
he?
Yeah, but it could be a part-time one.
Who have you got, Mr. Kev?
Right, okay, I'm going to stick with Orton.
I'm going with Styles.
I'm going to stick with Orton, but...
No buts.
Stop.
No, that's my choice. My choice is Orton. But in my heart of hearts, I actually think it's actually going to be a double DQ.
What? Nobody wins? Sadness.
Nobody wins.
I'm going with Styles.
Big brawl. Thrown out.
Fair enough. John?
Oh, now that Kevin just said it, it's like,
Oh, for fuck's
or
sake.
He just threw that in the ring.
Yeah.
I
No,
could-
you can see it happening,
we could
can't
have-
you?
we-
As
yeah, we could.
one
have
match that doesn't get a result.
But this is WrestleMania. You're supposed to have like definitive results and whatnot.
And the
You
definitive
can't
result you're going to have will be in the next match after this one.
Yep.
Bloody hell!
It's not hard. Pick one or abstain.
No, don't stick with whoever you thought. Like I say, my choice is not the draw.
No, all right,
Or
but
double
both,
KO.
both of you has obviously gone either pool. So who do I do? Because I was in the same boat as Kev. I thought it was going to be Orton all the way.
Pick
And
Orton.
then what happened?
Yeah, that's the only reason we pick Orton opponent at Mania is depending upon whether or not he can do an RKO fancy off of them. Oh.
You know what? Yeah, Orton's got to win it because
Okay.
AJ had the title defense win last year. It's only makes sense that he has the fall taken from him from Orton.
Fair enough. So, the easy, definitive choice in the next match, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. I'm voting Reigns for obvious reasons.
If they want to be really, really smart and pull the trigger, they'll pick McIntyre.
I agree, but McIntyre already has a... McIntyre is beating the 50-50 booking ratio right now anyway, and he's been looking really strong beating down Roman the last couple of weeks anyway, so Roman needs the upcomings. It wouldn't surprise me if Ambrose makes an appearance as well.
Would surprise the hell out of me if Ambrose makes an appearance under the circumstances.
But I'm going for Reigns to win.
But so yeah, to finish off my train of thought, it would be the smart thing to pull the trigger on McIntyre, make him a truly despicable heel, and give him a big win and elevate him. So naturally, we're not going to do that, and Roman Reigns is going to win because we need to build Reigns back up now that he's in the good books of the audience.
He's already getting booed again.
Is he really?
Yes, he was booed on Raw.
Oh, that's because the Mania crowd. I mean, it depends how he wins. If they're smart, they'll book the match with that in mind, that they actually need to make Reigns look
Credible.
legitimately heroic.
I think this match is going to look really, really good, and I think it'll be Drew.
I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this match.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre will make Roman Reigns look like $1 million, but yeah, I'll have to agree with the rest of you. Yeah, Roman Reigns has got to win this. He needs to have that.
He needs to win
again, especially since last year he lost to Brock Lesnar. He needs to come back again.
Yep.
Especially after all he's gone through this the last 6 months or so. So yeah.
Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. John, who have you got and why?
Who do you think I have?
The obvious choice of Daniel Bryan.
Well, you'd be wrong, because I'm going to say Kofi, because I know fine that they don't want the crowd to be booing on granted, again, this is going back to my case of Saudi Arabia, where Daniel Bryan does not want to do Saudi Arabia, but we would want to have the champion there, and New Day's fine to go there. Have Kofi win the title. It's the only way of having your WWE champion be at that show. So,
but didn't Bryan go there for the last Saudi Arabia show? I'm quite sure he did.
He went to went to Greatest Royal Rumble before he realized what he was doing, and then when it came to Crown Jewel,
he said no. Nope. He said no.
So, frankly, I feel as though that's a key factor in this. But overall, the actual storyline to all this is Kofi is getting the crowd right behind him. It's this epic thing, and you've been wanting this, obviously. You've been wanting this New Day kind of like champion, like single champion run from one of the New Day and whatnot. And now we have it, and now we can have this opportunity. And Kofi is red hot as a face that could take the title and bring it back into prominence. And even though I love the equal belts and whatnot. It's many people want to see the original WWE title again. So yeah, Kofi.
Kev?
I was going to say, Pete, you had looked like you were in deep in thought there at Turbo's words.
No. I've got my rebuttal. You're next, Kev.
Okay, right. I so want this to be Kofi. The winner of the match and replacement for Booker T versus Triple H. Daniel Bryan. I think
you're really putting that into this.
Yeah,
I
think they're gonna because the way it's been booked to date.
Yep.
With Vince in the Trips role.
I don't think Vince has a clue about what to do if Kofi has the belt. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be an amazing match. I really do. I think it's going to be. It's probably going to outshine Lesnar Rollins by a mile. But as much as I do want a member of New Day to have the belt, and I've been asking for it since the beginning we started this podcast, and even way before there. As much as I want the belt on Kofi, I think it's going to set off a program between Bryan and Kofi, and they're going to go on about it. If it was going to be a feel-good story, it would be the last match on the card with Kofi winning it.
Which is another of the factors that has gone into mine. In this Mania, more than probably any other in recent years, has got a number of matches where the fans are truly invested in terms of story in that X must win. More recent years, there's been a couple of this. There is legitimately all three of the quote unquote main events are ones where the fans desperately want one person to win. In terms of wish fulfillment, WWE is not going to give you all of it. And for that reason, to make the highest of highs at the end that much higher, they're going to need that disappointment beforehand to also make some doubt for the stuff coming after it. Yep. And I think just because of its position on the card, because, as you said, Pete, I don't think they know what they would do. Certainly Vince wouldn't know what to do with Kofi afterwards.
Here are the two outcomes. Bryan wins. The story is then that Bryan was right all along. Kofi is a B+ player. We still go through the whole thing of Kofi goes through redemption and they go to the next thing and they have another one-on-one match. There'll probably be a stipulation or anything else. It'll be along those lines. The alternative is Kofi wins. Now, Kofi will win and it'll be backplayed off the fact that Rowan tried to get involved to save him or some other interference. There's a lot of things that are going around. The New Day stop him and the New Day manage to get a distraction because they're faces and they'll get a distraction and they'll do their face distraction stuff and it will happen and then Bryan will call it his own. You may have won, but you didn't do it on your own.
Steel cage.
And then they'll have that sort of thing. Yeah. And it'll go from there. And I honestly think that the better, more intangible story is going to be Bryan retaining the belt and having it. Because if we're going to have a super face have that championship belt, it's going to be Seth taking it off Lesnar. They won't have two super faces on having both championship belts. They won't do it.
Also, the other thing is the Fox deal.
That as well. But yes, so I am going with Daniel Bryan to retain the championship.
But to be fair, both me and Pete really want Kofi to win.
Absolutely. I've been asking for this, as we've said, I've been asking this for the last 2 years, you know? But I do want to move on because, as I said earlier on in the show, there's going to be a match that's most possibly tarred in outside interference, and it's Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. The Universal Championship is on the line. I'll go first on this one. There's a lot of talk that when Brock went to the last big UFC thing and not interfered, but make an appearance, the other guy, and you will apologize because I don't watch a lot of UFC, made a big statement and saying, I'm going to go to WrestleMania and I'm going to show up and maybe I'll cost Brock Lesnar his title. So maybe he'll be there in the front row. Maybe they'll make a big push of it, and maybe they'll lead into Lesnar going back off to UFC after this. Maybe. There's a small niggle in the back of my mind where Lesnar walks out of this with the belt. But I think Seth's going to beat Lesnar for the second time in the main event of WrestleMania. And I think that's how they'll play it on the Raw going forward. So I think Rollins is going to win, but there is a niggle in the back of my mind that Lesnar walks out with the belt. Because they've pulled this shenanigan on us before, where we're like, Lesnar's going to lose it. They'll change the championship. No, I think it's WrestleMania. I think they'll do it where Rollins will walk out, and I think it will be interference from the UFC thing, and it'll build into that for them. So yeah, Rollins to win. Kev?
I was going to say Turbo. You were going to say something?
No, you go ahead. You got the floor.
Right. The winner of the match and the reason why all of the Beast Slayer merch is already on sale on WWE.com.
That has been for weeks, isn't it?
Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, you need more disappointment before you can have the happiness.
John?
Yeah, I was going to say Brock Lesnar. Ooh. Simply because every time we go thinking, oh, he's got to drop it this time. It's like, no. You need to have that. You said it yourself. You need that to have that disappointment. And we, sadly enough, we have to have it with not with Kofi losing to Daniel Bryan, but Brock Lesnar defeating Seth Rollins. Because Brock is obviously the big, thing. The big box office thing. And again, it all just rolls down to the numbers and whatnot. WWE knows that he's a big draw, and the amount of money they can give him and whatnot is quite easily a factor. And as much as I like that idea of you putting in that UFC, whoever that UFC fighter was,
it would make sense.
That's not gonna fly. Not in such short notice. I mean, something like when Ronda Rousey showed up at that one WrestleMania to be part of that Triple H Stephanie Rock bit at I think it was like 31 or 32.
It was like forever ago.
Yeah. This UFC thing where Brock was at least like 5-6 months ago, mate.
Yeah, then that's not gonna happen then. If this is like fruit.
Yeah, is Vince McMahon gonna effectively let Dana White book part of WrestleMania?
No. Simple as. Yeah. But no, I'm gonna say Brock Lesnar, obviously. Because I feel as though they would still want to have Roman defeat the Beast one more time to make him credible again.
Definitive.
Yeah.
So we move to the main event. The probably the most obvious winner of everything. The winner-take-all match between Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Championship, the Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Championship, and the man Becky Lynch. It's obviously the most obvious pick, but I'm going to go with Mr. Kev because it's him to go first on this one. It's the most obvious pick, and it's obvious why Becky's not going to win it, so I'll leave it in your hands.
I'm picking Becky Lynch. That's more a case of please, dear God. Again, heart of hearts, I reckon it's going to be Charlotte. Because of previous things with WWE wanting Charlotte to be the history maker and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dreading it, So I'm gonna say Becky Lynch on that basis, and if I say that enough, it will drown out a lot of history saying that, saying that it's gonna be Charlotte. Because if they make it Charlotte or Ronda Rousey, frankly, but if they pull a Lesnar and make it Ronda, oh my god, the boos! The crowd will go absolutely ape shit, and not in the way they want.
Yeah.
But I reckon they're just crazy enough to go, hey, you see that reaction that Charlotte got when she kneed Ronda Rousey in the face through that car window? That means the audience want her to win.
John?
Oh.
If Vince has a clue in that dead brain 70-year-old
No, don't be mean.
headspace,
Don't be mean.
he should choose Becky Lynch.
Who are you choosing?
Because, well, obviously I'm going to go with Becky Lynch for the simple fact that she is the most over person right now, and with most WWE kind of like WrestleMania end shows, they have that one defining moment where the crowd is cheering and they're on their feet and whatnot, and it's something that they can use in their B-roll for eons afterwards. Having anyone other than Becky Lynch win that match, that first women's main event match, it's going to make anyone sour on that fact. You're not going to have people up on their feet cheering if it's Charlotte or Ronda Rousey. It's Becky Lynch. She has that energy now. She has that with her. And frankly, what was it? I'm trying to having difficulty trying to put this in words, or try to put my thoughts across it. But really, the thing is that, yeah, Charlotte has had her moments at WrestleMania. She won the Women's Championship first time at WrestleMania. Ronda Rousey has had her moments at WrestleMania. Give Becky Lynch that moment. Share the moment. Becky Lynch.
Have her be the Jericho. Because she gets to then say that she beat Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey together at the same time. She gets to say that she was the first undisputed women's champion. And, oh dear.
The most obvious choice to win this match is Becky Lynch. If she was at the height of her popularity back at Elimination Chamber, she would be a shoo-in. This, if you look at it from a storyline point of view, the waters have been completely muddied by what's happened between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. The entire highlight of this storyline has been what happened on Raw this week, where they beat the bloody hell out of each other. However, Becky Lynch should win, and therefore I am picking Becky Lynch to walk out with this. In saying that, I think Charlotte becoming a mega heel and getting that mega heel persona back over again would be amazing, because mega heel Charlotte Flair is amazing to watch, but Becky should win the belt. She has essentially become the Stone Cold Steve Austin in the modern era, and that's what the McMahons have been trying to make ever since 2001. And they finally got it.
Mm.
So, yes.
To give you an idea about how, again, you're saying that the waters have been muddied with this, before Charlotte was added to it, I had Ronda winning. Ronda winning via Austin Hart finish.
All right. Yeah,
This is
double
before
turn.
she turned heel and what have you, and yeah, really in WWE's mind anybody could win, and that's actually kind of a scary thought considering the need of the division for it to be somebody.
Absolutely. But yes, that has been our predictions for WrestleMania. I hope you guys made your own. If you have, comment them in the description below. If you've watched this on YouTube, if you listen to us on iTunes, you can get in touch with us at Faces in Peril or on our personal social media. Mr. John, where can they find you on the social media?
You can follow me on the Twitters and Instagram at TurboXLR. You can also follow me on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TurboDriveLive. And of course, be sure to, follow me on Twitter if I'm doing a live reaction to NXT TakeOver New York, because I'm sure I'll probably want to do that on the Friday. So, be sure to do that.
That's fair enough. Mr. Kevin Eva, where can they find you on the social media?
You can find my personal Twitter account at the Kevin Eva. You can follow our gaming channel, Last Minute Continue, at Last Min Continue on Twitter. There is an Instagram account which is sort of a joint for myself and the gaming channel, which is Last Minute Continue. And you can follow us as a trio for Last Minute Kickouts on Twitter at Faces in Peril.
Absolutely. And you can find me on my personal Twitter at Titans Creed. I can be found on my gaming one at Gaming Phoenix. You can find me 5 days a week doing some video games at twitch.tv/Project Phoenix Productions. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. We hope you enjoy WrestleMania as much as we are aiming to. And we will be back with, hopefully, a new champion. We might have a defended champion, who knows, but we'll be back, and the next time you'll see or hear from us will be in our WrestleMania wrap-up video/podcast. Thank you very much for watching and or listening. We'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.